For many, homeownership is the pinnacle of the American dream. Having a place to call your own is the ultimate sense of security. While the perks are many, so are the responsibilities, and some homeowners don't realize the various costs that come with their new endeavor.
Oftentimes people don't know the complexity of the mortgages that are available and what might be best for them. Oftentimes they need help understanding the amount of house that they can afford to purchase given their income. If you look at the people who are in trouble today, many of them ended up buying homes more than they could afford and didn't understand the full obligations. When you buy a house, when the roof goes, that's your responsibility. You need to have savings in order to deal with those kinds of things. So people essentially got in over their head.
This is just one of the factors contributing to the current foreclosure crisis. The rate is at an all-time high and crippling entire communities.
Well, the problem with a foreclosure is devastating, obviously, for the family that goes through foreclosure, but it also has broader effects on the community. It brings down property values of surrounding properties. You end up with vacant and abandoned buildings in the neighborhood that end up being magnets for crime. Oftentimes, local government has to spend money to board up properties, so it has a broader impact on the community.
Housing experts feel the best way to avoid foreclosure is by taking preventative steps before buying a home. Meeting with a professional housing advisor educates potential homeowners on how to make the most important purchase of their life and keep it.
Some of the things that we teach in home buyer education and counseling: budgeting, credit, understanding the credit, how to establish it, how to maintain it, working with the lender, understanding the various loan products that are available for them. We also will teach them their responsibility and their role in the process of working with the real estate agent, obtaining a home inspection as well, the closing aspects, and then predatory lending. And that kind of goes into life as a homeowner. We also encourage the clients to be proactive because life happens and unexpected things happen. So we encourage our clients to be proactive, to communicate with their lenders if they find themselves in a challenging position.
I decided to get counseling because I knew for about 2 years prior to going through the class that I wanted to buy a house, and I knew it would be a really big step in my life, and I wanted to find out as much as I could about the home ownership and the process, and what I needed to do, how much money I needed to save. I just wanted to find out as much as I could before actually going into a house. I learned that you have to prioritize. Some things aren't as important when you're renting or maybe living with your parents, and having a savings account is really important. One thing that really sticks out to me, especially with everything that's going on in the economy with a lot of people losing their houses, is the programs that are out there when people are like in pre-foreclosure, how you can contact your mortgage company and talk with them to see what programs are available, because I would have never thought that there were programs out there.
If you look at the people who got pre-purchase counseling, by and large, they are not in trouble like the folks who ended up in subprime loans. It's true for a lot of the local governments who had down payment and closing cost assistance programs that required counseling. So it's pretty clear that if people had had the benefit of pre-purchase counseling, we wouldn't have the scale of the problems we've got today.
Deciding to buy a home is one of life's biggest milestones, and with the right guidance, more homeowners can look forward to a lifetime of peace of mind. For over 30 years, NeighborWorks America has been helping thousands of people across the country become proud and educated homeowners before they get to the closing table. And they want to help thousands more. With a national network of more than 230 community-based organizations, NeighborWorks America is dedicated to spreading the word that there are professional housing experts ready to counsel consumers at little or no charge.
Well, NeighborWorks America was created 30 years ago by Congress. Basically, we were set up to work with local communities all over the country to help them revitalize their communities and provide affordable housing opportunities. One of the other things we're doing to try to help address the foreclosure crisis is to work with community organizations to help them reach out to neighbors in the community, help rebuild the civic infrastructure and fabric, get people re-engaged in rebuilding their community. Because a lot of these communities have been pretty devastated with foreclosures. And so we've got to work on obviously stemming foreclosures, but we also have to work on rebuilding the civic infrastructure.
And regardless of market conditions, NeighborWorks America has always provided financial support, technical assistance, and training for community revitalization efforts across the country. The Resources for Residents and Communities organization has been bringing this Atlanta, Georgia community back to life, all thanks to the support they receive from NeighborWorks America.
When we're educating our families, we want to make sure that it's not just about getting a home, but it's about sustainability, making sure that they can stay in that home, for the term that they desire to stay in that home.
I don't think I could have gone through the process without going through the counseling class. I think it was a really great experience. I learned a lot. I've even referred a couple of coworkers to RRC because I knew that they were, interested in buying a home.
In the coming years, the foreclosure nightmare will be behind us, and the vacant homes will need to be put back into productive use. NeighborWorks America and their network of partners are committed to ensure that this happens in a fast, efficient, and fair way by offering counseling and guidance to those who want to be responsible, lifelong homeowners. Ultimately, it is up to consumers to decide whether they want to become proactive participants in their future.
Just knowing that this is mine, I worked hard. Not only did I have a full-time job, but I worked a part-time job for 3 years to save money, build my savings account. Words just can't really describe what great a feeling it is, at the end of the day when I go home and I can pull my car in a garage and, take my groceries in and not get wet. I mean, it's awesome. It is. I could go on and on. It's a great feeling.
For more information on NeighborWorks America and their network of partners, log on to nw.org.